Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? This has been Louise, and you're watching the Patriot Flex podcast, and we have just a little bit of stuff that we need to unpack. There's a particular part of the State of the Union address that just aired yesterday that I want to touch on. Louise didn't look at this yet.
I haven't seen this yet, yeah.
Okay. I watched it in its entirety. Why? Because I did so that you and my good friend Louise did not have to.
I'm starting to like this format that we have where I don't see things and then I'm just kind of reacting to it. But I am going to start watching it. I'm going to bring up some other videos that I do watch because I do want to do some research beforehand so that I don't comment just a bunch of like speculation. And I got some facts and I got some articles that we can bring up and I'll show them on screen. But for this one, I didn't watch the State of the Union address. I started watching it and then I was like, this is going to be a show, and I was editing and doing some other things. But yeah, so we're going to go over another section of the State of the Union address. So let's get into it. Do you have any backstory on this, or we just play it?
Essentially, Joe's talking about the job numbers and how well country is doing regarding unemployment. But we're going to take a look. Ready?
All right, let's check it out.
You always kid me for always quoting my dad, but my dad used to say, Joey, a job's about a lot more than a paycheck. He really would say this. It's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about respect. It's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay, and mean it. Well, folks, so let's look at the results. We're not finished yet by any stretch of the imagination, but unemployment rate is at 3.4%, a 50-year low.
Pause. Louise, hit me with some stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
All right, look. That's pretty much what I wanted to touch on. Mr. Biden and his administration is being very misleading regarding those numbers. So the thing about it is he's saying that it's record low, but
50-year record.
50-year. I'm gonna ask you some questions.
Stop the cap.
Louise. All right. So if you're unemployed,
Yeah.
but you're not able to collect unemployment, are you still unemployed?
I don't know. I would say you're still unemployed.
Correct. So for those that are unemployed,
I don't know what you would get categorized at.
you should be categorized as unemployed.
Okay.
Because you don't have a job.
Okay.
So for those who are unemployed but are off unemployment, then they aren't factored into that number.
Oh, so they only calculate based off how many people are on unemployment?
That's correct.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. And you know, when I saw that, the first thing that came to my mind is when Trump would say that he had record unemployment, record like unemployment numbers. The first thing that all the Democrats would say is, oh, it's because everybody's got 2 jobs.
Same thing. So everyone has 2 or 3 jobs. So the majority of new jobs that have been created, I think he's going to touch on that right now. I think so. But I know he said it at some point during the State of the Union.
That created a lot of jobs?
That his administration has created so much jobs. Right?
Oh, okay.
But the thing about that is the majority of the jobs created are in the service and hospitality sectors.
Okay.
Which they're low paying jobs. That's why people need to get 2 or 3 jobs. So if you're an engineer working for, I don't know, let's just say Boeing, right? And you get laid off. Okay, and you're not able to find another engineering job, but you have to take 3 smaller jobs that don't pay as much, and you lose your benefits, your health care, your Blue Cross Blue Shield. Is that something to tell about?
So, well, yeah, because also there's it doesn't even have to be something crazy like engineering. I mean, there's people that don't have college degrees that go work in the oil fields and make, great money, but then they work off of contracts. So once a contract runs out and they don't have another contract, they like move back to wherever they came from, because usually they move to like certain areas where all the oil stuff is going on, right? But usually they're not from there. So if a contract runs out, they go back home, and then they got to look for something else. But they don't have college degrees sometimes, you know. They don't they know how to do hard labor, but some other hard labor jobs, they don't pay anywhere near as well as doing like oil field stuff. So yeah, let's check it out.
Let's finish it up.
Near record.
With the rouse.
Near record on a farmer.
Sit your ass down. Come on, sit your ass down.
Shout out.
Near record. Near record on a farmer. God.
What's your feature?
Near record unemployment for Black and Hispanic workers. We've already created, through help, 800,000 good-paying manufacturing jobs, the fastest growth in 40 years.
All clear as lib.
Written for asking. Where is it written that America can lead the world in manufacturing? I don't know where that's written. For too many decades, we imported projects and exported jobs. Now, thanks to what you've all done, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs.
Wait, so are you admitting that Trump was right and that we need to build stuff in America?
That sounds like what he's admitting.
Right. This sounds like what Trump said back in the day. He was saying, like, let's stop sending jobs somewhere else and, like, make stuff here. You know, we need to make cars here, you know? Anyways.
So, inflation. Inflation has been a global problem because the pandemic disrupted our supply chains, and Putin's unfair and brutal war in Ukraine disrupted energy supplies as well as food supplies, blocking all that grain in Ukraine. But we're better positioned than any country on earth right now. But we have more to do. But here at home, inflation is coming down. Here at home, gas prices are down $1.50 from their peak. Food inflation is coming down, not fast enough, but coming down. Inflation has fallen every month for the last 6 months, while take-home pay has gone up.
Pause.
Additionally,
Can you lose some more stuff?
Stop the cap.
All right.
I knew that was coming.
Again, that's very misleading. Okay. So if your pay is going up, let's just say 1%, 2% annually, the inflation numbers that he's giving,
It was like 8% at some point.
8%, it's actually higher than 8%.
Yeah.
That's just what they're telling you. It's actually close to like around 12, 13.
God dang.
Okay. So if it rose, so if inflation is like around, let's just say roughly 11, 12%, but you're only getting a 1 to 2% increase, and he said inflation is going down, it's not deflation. So that means that the price of goods are still going up. Right? So is that still something that you want to celebrate, Mr. Biden?
Yeah, that's... Yeah, inflation is crazy, like, over the past couple of years. And people are feeling it, man. People are feeling it real bad. I was just having a conversation with somebody the other day. Actually, I was having a conversation with you about it. It was you. About how, like, if you buy a house, like, let's say somebody buys a house, somebody bought a house for like $150,000, right? I know people in California right now are saying, who the fuck buys a house for $150,000? Look, California people, out here in other places, you can buy a house for $150,000. So if you buy a house, 150, 200K, and then you sell it 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the line for the same amount of money that you bought it, you actually lost a lot of money, right? You didn't break even because of inflation. Your money's worth less. So over the years, when inflation goes up, you're losing money kind of on all the assets that aren't appreciating as fast as inflation. You're just losing money. So you're paying more for food, you're paying more for energy, you're paying more for products like your cars, your houses, and then especially with cars, you buy a car, it's never worth the same amount of money that you bought it for. Now, COVID got a lot of people spoiled with the cars, right? Because we had that supply issue with the cars. So everybody's used car values went up, but they're starting to come back down now that, we're getting more new cars hitting the street. But yeah, let's see the rest of this video. See what else we're going to brag about here.
Over the last 2 years, a record 10 million Americans applied to start new businesses. 10 million. And by the way,
it's also good that a lot of people applied to start new businesses, but did they start new businesses?
They apply.
Are they running the business? Are they getting the things that they need to run the business? Because sometimes government policies crush businesses. Like a lot of businesses closed after our little issue with the flu. A lot of businesses went under because, yes, the big companies could survive. They had that money in the reserve. They had that stuff in the tank. But some businesses didn't have all this backup. And you can say, yeah, well, they got to plan better or they got to this and that. Some people started businesses right before this thing hit, and then those businesses obviously are going to survive because they didn't have enough time to prepare for something like that. So people had to close their businesses. They had to lay off their employees. They had to close their business and go find a job instead. So yeah, I mean, it's good that a lot of people are trying to open businesses now. That's great. If I remember the business percentage of like how many businesses survive, like a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, it's pretty low. Like most businesses fail within like a couple of years. Yeah. So let's see what else we're talking about here. We're almost done.
every time someone starts a small business is an act of hope. And Madam Vice President, I want to thank you for leading that effort to ensure the small businesses have access to capital and the historic laws we enacted that are going to just come into being.
Bro, it seems like nobody likes Kamala, bro. Like, even people who voted for Biden, a lot of them don't like Kamala. But what can you do? But yeah, man, unemployment's at record low. We're doing great.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know that if you're watching us, you're smart. You're not part of the majority who fall for the okie doke. And if you did fall for the okie doke and you take umbrage with my opinion regarding the misinformation that was spoken by the Democrats, please leave your concerns in the comments below. If you agree, make sure to hit that like button and also leave your comments in the comment section below regarding what you want us to touch on next.
Yeah, I'm sure there was other interesting parts of the State of the Union address. So if you guys have a certain favorite part of that speech you want us to react to, leave it in the comment section below. And don't forget to help us with that algorithm. So yeah, any last thoughts, Ben?
No, brother.
We're ready to go.
We're ready to go.
We just got out of the gym, recorded a video, had breakfast. Now it's time to get to editing so you guys can watch this. So anyways, we'll catch you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of the week. And with that being said, this has been Ben
And Luis
and with Patriot Flex Podcast.
Peace.